as always, we're trying to be early and define the meta rather than be late and then just be like, see, I told you so, right? Some of these things, depending on when you watch, might change, but I think I have a pretty good grasp on the meta. I have a good idea of which characters got gutted in the new patch and which characters got a lot stronger. As always, I try to make this tier list an average of all ranks, okay? Some characters perform better in low rank and some characters perform better in high rank. For example, hard carries like Victor, you know, do really well in low rank because low rank games tend to last longer. But spoilers, he's very bad again in high rank. He just got hard nerfed. Like, he literally just got a hotfix like 2 minutes ago. So yeah, let's get right into it. Abrams got a slap on the wrist with the latest patch. He basically, he does a bit less damage with a melee after a shoulder charge. And he does a bit less damage with his Siphon Life, but he actually gets more healing than before with Siphon Life. And before, if you know anything about Abrams, he was Thanos, right? And he's still Thanos. He got barely touched. He might be a tiny bit weaker. So the absolute lowest I'll put him is low S tier, okay? Like, he's a meta-defining character. Tanks in general seem to be really strong this meta again because they buffed Spirit Resilience, and Spirit Resilience is an amazing item against Spirit on tanks, right? So now it's even harder to kill tanks. I want to say tanks became even stronger with this patch, and Abrams is one of the best of them. Same story goes for Bebop. He didn't get any nerfs or buffs in the patch, but he was already really good before, and he's still really good, and probably even a tiny bit better, so he's definitely like on the top of A tier. That being said, I want you to understand, if you're watching this video, please play Bebop as a gun character right now. The double bomb might be fun, but it's not a viable playstyle for Bebop because everyone runs debuff remover, everyone runs counter spell, right? Like, so if you're running Spirit Bebop, he's just not that great, okay? But if you're running gun, he's really good. He's not super easy to play, but insanely tanky, right? Insane damage, insane laning stage. Definitely an 80 character. Billy did actually kind of get buffed, okay? His base movement speed got nerfed a tiny bit, but his blasted movement speed got buffed more. So as long as the blasted is on, he's even faster than before, and that's basically all the changes he had. All his items that he tends to run are just as strong. Almost none of them got touched. Cultist, spoilers, is gutted, but you can play Billy easily without Cultist. He's an insane character. Spirit Snatch is a tiny bit weaker, but the other outlying meta characters got nerfed harder than he did. He's arguably even better. An easy S tier character. Insane. And if you're struggling with Billy, it's probably a skill issue. Like, you need to get good at the character first. But yeah, character is pretty fucking insane. I'm down to put Billy below Abrams. Okay, Calico, the biggest winner of the patch, was already really solid before. Everything about her got better. Slash is more consistent in height. Gloom bombs are more consistent. Everything about the character got buffed. Lower cooldown on the ult, lower cooldown on the cat. So she was really solid, and now she's even better. And again, what did I say about tanks just now? Tanks actually probably meta defining, and Calico is one of them. Calico's S tier. Yeah, let's put everyone in S tier. It's actually funny. You say that, and it just so happens that the first few characters are S tier characters and the rest of them are dog shit, okay? Because Dorman is also S tier. Dorman is also S tier. It's just awkward, okay? It's awkward. Like, Yoshi likes the characters that start with the letter A, B, C, or D. So, Gun Dorman, if you haven't seen it yet in your games, he kills you. He also has insane utility. He has one of the best ults in the game, obviously, right? He's crazy. I can't put him below S tier. Dorman is just too strong. He does more gun damage than most gun carries in the game, and he's a support. He has insane utility. Crazy character. Okay, we're done with the S tier characters for now. Don't worry. Drifter. Kind of dog shit, no? Like, he's not quite unplayable. And here's the thing. I know some people struggle against Drifter, okay? But what I always say on Drifter is, all you have to do is be with your team and don't fight him 1v1. And as soon as you're with your team, he becomes very weak. He's very bad at farming. He does scale, right? Like, once he gets to the late game and gets money, he is scary. But before then, he's just not a menace anymore. And I think people that struggle against him just kind of struggle or try to take 1v1s against him or split up. As long as you have one teammate in the vicinity, Drifter is pretty bad. I think he's below average, and especially in high rank. If this was an Infernus tier list only, I would put him in unplayable, genuinely. Dynamo got slight quality of life buffs. The Stomp got a height increase, so it's harder to jump the Stomp, okay? That being said, he wasn't great before. I will put him middle of the pack, because if you have a Dynamo on your team, there's always a comeback chance, right? Black Hole is the best ult in the game, so you have to respect it. Even if you're ahead, if the enemy team or the enemy Dynamo hits a big black hole, he can turn the fight around or the game around by himself, and that will always make Dynamo a viable pick in ladder play. And yeah, now with the buffs, he's going to be a bit more consistent in other damage, right? And playing support Dynamo also got a lot better. Rescue Beam got a tiny buff, Healing Nova got a tiny buff. So everything he kind of does got a bit better. Nothing he really does got worse with the patches, if we're looking at items, right? So yeah, right in the middle of the pack, I would say. Maybe like low B tier. Because he's still a bad laner, right? Like he still struggles from the fact that he's very weak early on. So it's really hard to win the lane on the character. He's one of the weakest laners in the game. Great Talon was absolute S tier before this patch. Like absolute S tier. Thanos, right? Insane nuke potential. But I think he is a bit weaker now. Okay, and first my names is complaining about putting too many characters in S tier, and then I put Talon in A, and then he wants Talon in S tier. I think the nerfs to his arrows, right? Scaling on both the tier 1 and the tier 3 got reduced by 0.2, right? Means he nukes you less. Okay, also, Spirit Resilience got buffed to where it's usable on most characters again, okay? So not only did Talon get hit with lower damage, there's also going to be more possibilities to counter the hero. And I always say this with Talon on ladder. He needs a team to play with him, right? He's not a solo carry, and the team needs to play around him correctly because he can die if the team doesn't play around him correctly, right? And that's why I will not rate him S tier for ladder play right now, right? In pro play, he might still be Thanos, like he might still be the exact same. I just think that he's quite a bit weaker, or not quite a bit weaker, a tiny bit weaker in ladder play, and I'll put him A tier. Haze did not get touched at all. And I really have to think about this because it's still quite early. I think she got a tiny bit better, actually, I want to say. Because again, spirit characters overall, on average, got a bit weaker, got nerfed a bit. So Gun overall is also a bit better, obviously, with the investments. Not saying it matters much, right? And Blood Tribute is actually crazy as of an item now. And yeah, on Haze, it actually does a lot of damage. So I will put Haze in B tier. I don't think she's a hard carry still, right? But like as a pick-off character, she's super playable. I think she's high B tier for sure. Great character. Holiday, easily top of A tier. The only reason I don't put Holiday in S is because I think Paradox is kind of doing what she does, but better. But she's still the best pick character in the game. She has insane laning, right? She has insane nuke potential, and she has insane escape ability with the jump pads, right? She can get in and out insanely fast. She's one of the most mobile characters in the game. Like, she has more movement than... Like, she might have the fastest movement in the game in terms of, like, verticality. Like, faster than Lash if you use the jump pads correctly. Like, the movement on her is crazy. Other than Mina, obviously. But, yeah, Holiday easily... top of A tier. Infernus, again, no changes. I want to say he got a bit better because the other gun carry characters got worse. And when I say gun carries, I mean these two. The supports got nerfed, which they should have, like a long time ago, right? But like now if you're looking for like a gun carry character, Infernus is probably the most viable choice other than Mirage, I want to say. So I'll rate Infernus top of B tier. He's just like a bit above average, I think, in terms of what he does in impact. Like, he's not amazing, and I think last time I did a tier list, I put Infernus in middle. Like, I called Infernus the most average character, and now I think he's just slightly above average. Ivey got hit quite hard in terms of gun. They really don't want Ivey to be a gun carry. The gun scaling on her got nerfed very hard. But she did get compensating buffs to her spirit, right? Like, she got an insane buff to her Stoneform spirit scaling. And overall, just quality of life spirit upgrade improvements. Her ult got a bit weaker. So, before this patch, right, I would have said Ivey's like S tier. But what do we think about Ivey? I'm asking you, chat, genuinely, because I haven't played against Ivey that much. I can tell you, I have not played against an Ivey that, like, ran everyone down. I think I can't rate her lower than A. Because I think the full spirit Ivey? No. Like, the full spirit Ivey, right? Where you go, like, Katsu Bomb and you build a lot of support / spirit items and you can nuke waves is insane, right? And Ivey, I always say this, you don't notice it, but the ult is insane, right? Like, silences everyone. I think there's no shot Ivey is below A tier. Even with the nerfs. Same goes for Kelvin, by the way. So Gun Kelvin did get nerfed. Almost as hard as Ivey, right? So the Gun Kelvin carry playstyle is probably not as viable anymore. And when I say probably, I mean like you don't run Gun Kelvin anymore. But that doesn't matter because Kelvin is still the tankiest support in the game, right? And Ice Dome is still one of the most broken ults in the game. Insanely strong character. You will have to play him as a support / spirit character now, right? Like you can get like... You can beam max, or I think the most common way to play him right now is you get rapid recharge and get some spirit items and you make the one really strong, the snowballs, right? Yeah, fucking crazy character. Maybe I'm rating him too low even. But the only reason I'm not putting him in S tier is because I think there's a lot of characters in S tier already. Like, maybe it might turn out that Kelvin is still like Thanos S tier. Geist got buffs to her scaling on her bomb. And I've seen her more since the patch. She does nuke quite hard with the bomb again. I don't think it made her like broken, but she's definitely stronger. Like, she feels scarier to play against. Like, the spirit bomb hurts like hell. A tier character, I think. Okay. Lash is one of the first big losers of the patch. Lash got kinda gutted, okay? The range on Ground Slam... let me pull up the patch notes. Let me pull up the patch notes real quick. I remember they were like... Okay. What did I do to Lash again? I'm not a Lash player myself, but I heard from everyone that the character is fucking ass. Yeah, so Lash, they reduced the ground strike range. They reduced the cooldown, or increased the cooldown, and reduced the damage by quite a lot, by the way, right? This is like more than 10%. There's like a 13% damage nerf as well on base level, on ground strike. So that means he's way worse in lane, right? In lane, you can dodge the ground slam easier, right? In general, ground slam is going to do less damage. And his items also got touched. Lash got touched. Lash went from like high A tier to like C tier, I think. Quicksilver reload was really common to rush, yeah. And that would like, you know, heal him a lot with the 3. This character is like a C tier character. I think it's below average. Yeah, Mystic Burst got nerfed. Goodbye, Lash. It was nice knowing you. I don't know. I think I enjoy playing against Lash personally. I think he needed tiny nerfs, but I think he might have gotten hit a bit too hard, genuinely. And yeah, I enjoy playing against Lash. It's kind of sad, actually. McGuiness didn't get touched at all, right? This character is just like... I have to be honest, like, for the last, like, month, since the 6-0 patch, this character really... I have not seen a single game where the enemy McGuiness is scary. Ever, right? Not as a support, and not as a split pusher or gun carry. Like... She's like a below average character that probably can do okay if you play her well. But I think she's just below average right now. She again doesn't really have a... I guess you can run different builds, but she doesn't really have an identity, right? Like you can't spam turrets, like turret builds are not a thing. But full gun also feels kind of underwhelming. Like if you run full gun, then you might as well run Haze, Infernus, right? Mirage. Yeah, McGuiness below average for sure. I disagree. Like, someone said, Gun McGuiness clears Wraith. As a carry, Wraith is better. For sure. Aimbot is good on her. Yeah, you would know. Okay. Is it controversial that I still think this is the best character in the game? I'll be controversial. Okay, so Mina got touched. Okay, so the thing where you can blow up walkers and objectives in 1 second is removed. Okay, she does a lot less damage against objectives. Also, on very early levels in lane, she heals less on her rake. Okay, so in lane, she needs to buy like a healing item. Okay, to sustain. I'm just ruined. The video is ruined. Okay, so yeah, so very early lane, she's a bit more volatile. Maybe she needs like one green item, because before, by the way, Minas wouldn't build a single green item, right? They would just go all spirit and then heal with rake. But as soon as you level rake to level 1 or 2, it's still the same scaling, by the way, okay? And Love Bites did not get touched at all, by the way. Love Bites did not get touched at all, and that's what makes her so crazy, right? The teleport got nerfed by 3 seconds, but with like superior cooldown, it's still an insanely fast cooldown. Is she a bit weaker than before? Yes. Is she balanced? No. She's still Thanos. She's, if not the best character in the game, she is still easily an S tier character. Yeah, I have to keep her there. Okay, Mirage is moving up in the world. Mirage is moving up in the world. Mirage was solid, playable before. He did get one change, which doesn't sound like a lot. The 3, the Jin's Mark, now is affected by cooldown, which means if you buy cooldown on him, you can collect stacks on Jin's Mark faster. Which means if you're running like a hybrid build or a spirit build, you do a lot of nuke damage. So I want to say in ladder, he's definitely an A tier character. Names is saying something interesting, that he's like the best for pro play. You might very well be right that he's the best carry for pro play. Because all the other carries are kind of useless, right? Like, you might be correct. But like, in ladder, I think I'll give him like middle A. Like, I think he's a very solid character. For sure. Maybe below Bebop and Talon. Like, he's very strong. For sure. Okay, MoKrill did... Am I missing something? I think MoKrill didn't get touched at all, right? Oh, he did. I'm sorry. So MoKrill got burrow nerfs. Like, you do more bullet damage to him in burrow. His items got nerfed, true. Quicksilver reload got nerfed. So overall, he's a bit weaker, but is he weak enough to not be like... I'm not going to put him in S tier anymore, but I think he's still a super solid A tier character, right? Like, he still doesn't die. I'm going to put him A for ladder. I'm going to put him A, not S tier. I don't think he's going to be meta defining, but he's... You know, if you want to fuck one person on the enemy team in specific, this is your hero, right? By the way, someone in chat said, on YouTube said, the CC nerf, that one really didn't do anything. Like, the CC nerf, in case you don't know, if you stack stuns on someone, the second stun lasts a bit shorter, and then the third stun lasts even shorter. But it's a very tiny amount, and usually, MoGrab is the first thing, right? You get grabbed, and usually you're dead after MoGrab, right? So, you don't really need to chain stun anymore, because usually after MoGrab, people are dead. So I don't think the CC nerf affected him hard, in that sense. Easy 80 character. Paige got a bunch of changes, mostly quality of life buffs. Her 3 got better, her 1 got better, her 2 lasts a bit longer. And her ult got interesting changes, so her ult does more healing and damage the longer it travels. So they're really trying to push Paige to be this cross-map snipe character. The issue with it is the hitbox on it is too small, the ult, for you to reliably cross-map snipe, right? So, is she better? Yeah. Is she good? No. I don't think so. I think she's still C tier. I think she's still below average. She's not unplayable, but I think she's just like a very average support in that sense. You know who's not average? Paradox. Bang. Paradox was already insane before this patch, and she got no nerfs. None. 0. Right? All the other characters in S tier, they were good. Right? They get, like, Mina got slight nerfs, right? Abrams got slight nerfs. Calico is in S tier because she got buffed, right? But like, yeah, this Paradox character might, you know, I said Mina is the best character in the game. It probably his Paradox, realistically. Even though I hate Mina more. Right? Does not die, has insane HP, has the best initiation slash pick in the game. Character broken. Broken character. S tier, easily. Same for Pocket, by the way. And I put Pocket in S tier last time too. And the thing is with Pocket is, unlike Mina, he didn't get nerfed at all. In fact, I would argue that in some situations Pocket is even stronger because Divine Kevlar, or Divine as Kevlar, got an insane buff, and Divine as Kevlar is really good on Pocket. Okay? Really, really strong character. Yeah. Easily the second best Spirit Nuker, or the best Spirit Nuker in the game together with Mina. Like, right on top of each other. The one thing that kind of helps out is Spellbreaker and Spirit Resilience got buffed, right? So you can counter Pocket a tiny bit better, but you will still probably die in one shot. Amazing character. S tier. Easily. Alright. This might surprise some of you, but over the course of the last meta, 7 already fell out of the meta. In fact, in the last 3 weeks, we didn't see him once in pro play, and I know this is a ladder tier list, right? But the counters to 7 got more and more meta. And when I say counters, I mean Capacitor in specific. Capacitor shuts down 7's power surge, right? And especially in the last week when I played, everyone built Capacitor, and if you get hit by Capacitor on 7, you do no damage, right? I know he overperformed statistically in low ranks, okay? Because low rank players don't walk out of the storm cloud, right? That's why 7 will always have a decent win rate in low rank. But right now, as we currently speak, it's been a day and a half of the new patch. 7 has the lowest pick and win rate, at least the lowest pick rate in Infernus out of any character in the game, okay? And I know pick and win rates alone don't matter as much, but he got hard nerfed. They nerfed his stun, they nerfed his power surge, and they nerfed his ult more, right? So, plus the items he's using also got nerfed. Cultist got hard nerfed, and 7 was a great Cultist user. Cultist was great on 7. So I don't even know what to run on him anymore, right? And his spirit scaling got nerfed. So rushing a lot of spirit items is not even that great on him. And I played one game of him and he felt absolutely miserable. I think he's probably playable in lower rank still, okay? Like, I think in lower rank, I would probably put him like C. Or maybe even low B. But overall, I just have to put him in unplayable. Because he's just literally unplayable in high rank. Like, he's a hard throw. Maybe the worst character in the game right now, unironically. Okay. Shiv is another character that really benefited from the patch. Because he didn't get nerfed at all. And again, tanks got better again. And Shiv feels like Thanos. I almost want to put Shiv in S tier. But, like, he's crazy, right? Like, he's crazy. In fact, a lot of the counters to Shiv got nerfed. Yeah, I mean, I can just tell you, like, the character. I really don't have a reasoning other than I hate Shiv. And my brain is small, right? But, like, Shiv is crazy. Okay, we'll put him below Kelvin. Alright, okay. If you want to do ordering, he's an A tier character. And you run Spirit on Shiv. Spirit Shiv, by the way. Knives, dash, ult. Sinclair did not get touched. I haven't seen Sinclair do anything. Ever. In my life. It's a very hard character to play. There's like maybe 1 or 2 good Sinclair players on the ladder. Yeah. This character is just a bit weird. It's like a counter pick in pro play to like specific ults. Funnily enough, Sinclair was a counter to Warden, but Warden is not being played anymore. And if the enemy team doesn't have good ults to steal, then Sinclair is just a very mediocre support. Yeah. I do think Sinclair will be bad until pick or ban. Because this is going to be one of those counter characters that you pick last to counter or steal one of the really good ults. By the way, another ult that Sinclair loved to steal was 7 ult, which, you know, 7 is also bad. So, yeah. Okay, so if you're watching this and you didn't realize yet, I'll show it again. There was just literally like a few minutes ago, there was an update to Victor, okay? Victor got changed, hotfixed, because they buffed him in the patch and he was overperforming way too much. So they hit him with a very big nerf, and that is that the Aura of Suffering self-damage cannot be reduced by spirit resistance. And this is by every spirit resistance, okay? So, what's the name? Enchanter's Emblem doesn't work, Spirit Resilience doesn't work, right? Like, you literally cannot reduce the damage you take from Aura of Suffering. Now, to be fair, they reduce the self-damage you take from 80 to 85 to 80, but that's still way lower than Spirit Resilience, right? What you used to do on Victor is you ran Spirit Resilience, and then, because Victor wanted to stay low, right, and be like 1/3 HP, your resistance was literally like 60%, right? So you would only take like 40 or to 50% of Aura of Suffering's damage, and now it's a minimum of 80 at all times. Which means, if you have Aura on, you will die a lot faster. You will take a lot of damage faster. Plus, some nerfs to Jumpstart and Pain Battery, okay? So he got hotfixed. This is gonna be an early prediction. So don't hate me for this, because right now the win rate is still looking high, because that change didn't come through yet. But I think Victor is back to dog shit. I will experiment with like Gun Victor the next few days, and maybe like an ult max is viable, where you run Gun Victor. But the Spirit Victor playstyle is just really back to being super weak, I want to say. Before the patch, he was like Thanos, by the way. Like, he was like S tier. But like, it's actually a really, really hard nerf to Victor. Yeah, I'll put him C tier. Vindicta got buffed. What do we think about Vindicta? I need an expert, because this is one of those characters I really can't decide on. The entire debuff Vindicta playstyle got obviously hard nerfed the last few patches, right? But she just got massive buffs to her gun. Her snipe, her flight lasts longer. She does more damage in flight. So her left click potential and her assassinate potential, her ult potential, is a lot higher now, right? But I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna put her. I'm gonna put her B tier. I'm gonna put her B tier. I think there will be points in time or comms where Vindicta does really well, but I still think she's just like, now she's just a worse grade Talon, because Talon kills you faster and he has the better ult, right? Vindicta also kills you fast, but she can't cross-map you like a bird. Unless she's like, you know, in line of sight. So Vindicta is just budget grade Talon. What did we learn? Old Japanese guys are way, way cuter than, you know, young ghost spirit girls. Whatever the fuck Vindicta is, I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Anyways, Viscous. Viscous got hit again with a right-click nerf. The right click does a lot less damage. Which means the express shot in lane thing and just spamming right clicks in lane got nerfed quite a lot, right? Which makes Viscous' laning weaker. But I cannot in good consciousness put this character below A tier. And high A tier at that. It's the best support in the game. Other than if you consider Dorman a support. Dorman is even better, right? Wait, Talon is not Japanese, he's native. Oh no, I'm gonna get cancelled. Oh no, it's over for me, guys. Put it on Reddit. Oh, I'm a racist and I don't even know Great Talon's ethnicity. I thought he was. Oh no. Anyways, back to Viscous. Insane character if you play him well. It's a goo ball. Can't die. Great ult. A tier. Viper. Okay, this is by far, some people think he's absolute dog shit. Viper is a she. See, I got the gender right. I think, so it will take some time for us to learn how good this character is, because the one got completely reworked. But I can guarantee you that the character is a lot stronger. Right? Because the rest of her kit didn't really get affected much. Like, the slide works differently. It gives you like an overshield now instead of resistances, right? So technically the slide should be a bit weaker in late game. But until then, she does more damage, right? Glenn, thanks for the tier 1. My alerts are off because we're recording a video. So I want to put Viper in A, and I might be incorrect here, and it might turn out that Viper is like a hardcore S tier character, but I think Viper is very strong. She got a lot stronger, and I want to predict that what we're gonna see develop over time in the next few days, weeks, is we're gonna see hybrid builds, because you still run gun on this character, right? Because the one now shreds a lot of bullet resist, right? So you will still run gun, but it's probably gonna be combined with some purple items to add some spirit damage, you know, and to make the one better. Crazy character, I think. Like, a lot better than before, and I'm happy they changed her. She feels a bit more dynamic to play. Warden, I'll put him. Is it crazy to put Warden in C? Is he still B? I think he's bad, no? I've not seen... Okay, genuinely, I've seen one Warden. I've played like 15 games since the patch. I've seen one Warden, and so the thing is, Warden was already an ult one trick, right? Where you would put everything into the ult and you would just be an ult bot. But Majestic Leap got nerfed, right? And his ult scaling got nerfed. And Quicksilver Reload got nerfed, which is also an item he used a lot. And Cultist got nerfed, which... Cultist is like a must-have item on Warden. So he got nerfed in multiple ways in that sense, right? And they didn't buff him at all other than him giving him a bit more fire rate with Spirit. So they still want this guy to be an ult bot, by the way, because they want you to buy Spirit items on Warden. But Gun Warden just does nothing. So this character is just kind of dog shit now, I think. Like, it's a below average character. C tier, at best. Like, I almost want to put him D. Wraith got big buffs, in my opinion. Doesn't seem like a lot if you look at the patch notes. But, so Wraith's base bullet damage got increased, okay? Which means McGuiness Magnum also does more damage on her, because McGuiness Magnum scales off the base bullet damage. And Spiritual Overflow got a rework, where it gives you cooldown reduction now. And I think Wraith is the biggest benefitter, other than Mirage, from Spiritual Overflow. Because you really like having cooldown, because you can spam even more cards. And what I didn't mention yet is, the cards you can throw faster now, right? So the cards got buffed too. And Wraith does most of her damage with the cards. So I think she got a lot better. Before I rated her like really low, I think she's a solid character. When I say solid, I mean she's a good late game carry. She still struggles with the same issues where she needs a lot of money to get online. But once she's online, she does a lot of damage. Do we put a low A? Do we put a low A? I don't know. There's a lot of characters in A. I'll put... I like this more. I'll put Viper, Lady Geist in B. I'll put her B tier. I think she's a solid carry character now. But I don't think she's like a very good character or a meta-defining character. Definitely stronger than before. Yeah, I'll put a high B. Haze also high B. We'll put them here. And last but not last, that's not the saying. Yamato. Let me think. Not really a lot of changes, right? In fact, Spirit Yamato is arguably a bit worse again, right? Because, and if you want to run Spirit Nuke, there is just better characters. Pocket and Mina exist. The one thing Yamato has over those characters is she's also a tank, right? She can tank, like, massively. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to say Yamato is solid B+ tier. And if you're wondering who these guys are 4 characters that got scrapped that are not in the game anymore. And these 2 characters are characters coming up in the next update, hopefully. In the bigger update. Right? Give me my Venerator. S tier. But yeah. I think I'm pretty happy with this list. Again, overall, I think the patch had some really good changes, but also had some really bad changes. I wish they would have shifted the meta a bit more. I'm happy Veilwalker and Cultist got nerfed, right? But like some characters barely got touched, like Abrams, and then some characters that didn't really deserve it, in my opinion, got gutted, like Warden, like 7. So I don't think the meta is going to change much in this patch. Usually when they put out balance patches, it changes the meta more than it did in this case, in my opinion. But Halloween is around the corner, and there is possibly a Halloween update coming. And it's already October, right? So Halloween is soon. Wink, wink. That's it? Alright, cut the video. There's the cut. Cut. Alright. Go over.